Okay, we can begin. Let me just share the screen so that we begin discussing. We are recording this session so that in case of anything, you can still go through it in your own time.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so we are looking at Unit 2, Introduction to Corporate Finance. We would have started with this, but according to the structure of your course by your school, they have decided to put this as Unit 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so under this unit, we have 4 learning objectives that we are supposed to come up with. So by the end of this lecture, you are supposed to be able to define what corporate finance is and what are the roles of money in an economy. Then you must be able to discuss external stakeholders in business. Be able to list and explain the required information by investors. And finally, if you can discuss financial control and the treasury, then we are done with this unit. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So let's look at what corporate finance is. Basically, it is a subfield of finance that deals with how corporations address funding sources, capital structuring, accounting, and investment decisions. If you recall very well, I'm sure you did financial management. That's why they are saying it is a subfield of finance, financial management. And they have given us the issues that are addressed by corporate finance. You look at funding sources, you look at how you structure your capital as a business, accounting, and the investment decisions. So corporate finance is often concerned with maximizing shareholder value through long and short-term financial planning and the implementation of various strategies. Those that are involved in corporate finance, their baby is to maximize shareholder value. And in your financial management, you learned that we maximize shareholder value by increasing the price of a share in the company. If people are investing in the company and they are buying the share at 1 kwacha, you as a corporate finance manager, your role is to ensure that at one particular point, the value of this share should rise maybe to 5 kwacha. Then you are working.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So corporate finance activities range from capital investment to tax consideration. Now, what is the role of money? Functions of money can be broadly categorized into the following 2 types. We have got the primary functions of money. Mind you, when they tell us to discuss the role or the functions, they're talking about the same thing. So under the primary functions of money, we have 1, it works as a medium of exchange. Simply mean we can use it to exchange what we have. That's the first function. The second function is that it can be used as a measure of value. If, for instance, you have an item in your house, if we want to know how wealthy that item is, you use money. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. So it is a measure of value. Unfortunately, a human being value has been failed because the Bible says no money can buy except the blood of Jesus.
Mm.
So we cannot discuss other items, but not a human being. Okay. So under the primary functions, we have got 3 functions. Then the secondary function, number 1, it is the standard of deferred payments. Now, it means that money acts as a standard for making future payments. When you want to get something today, the only thing that you can say is, I'll pay this tomorrow. You can only use money to defer the payment.
Mm.
So you can only use money to defer the payment. Okay? Then
Okay.
the second function under the secondary category is store of value. Store of value. Meaning, if you have something that you want to keep, you can only convert this into money and keep it. In an event that you want to have that thing, all you can do is you can use the money to buy it. So money, we can use it to store the value. A store of value implies a store of wealth. Money can be easily stored for future use. It is the most convenient and economic means to store earnings and wealth. Number 3, money can be used as a transfer of value. As we earlier discussed, we can transfer assets with value using money. Money also serves for transfer of value. It facilitates buying and selling of goods, not only in the domestic country, but also in other parts of the world. So these are the 5 functions of money, which are divided into primary category and secondary category. That's how we can address if we are to discuss the role or the functions of money. Unless if there's a question or a comment.
So, like on the store of value,
Yes.
would it be also right to use an example like inventory?
Yes, we can convert our money into stocks.
Yes, yes. And the time the users want to use it, they will need to transact.
Yes.
Using money.
Yes. You are right. Thank you very much. Let's look at our next learning objective. They want us to be able to discuss the external stakeholders in business. Okay. So, external people or external stakeholders are part of business who are outside the organization. But sometimes we may be wondering as to why do they become important? Because these people are not part of the organization. They do not have ownership or work relationship in the company. In other words, they are those who have an interest in the company besides the shareholders and employees of the company. What makes it important for us to study the stakeholders, external stakeholders? It is the fact that they have got interest in what we do. So what we do can affect them, as well as what they do can affect us as a business. It is the more reason why we are supposed to study and understand them. We understand this very well when we'll be dealing with electronic marketing, why it is important to understand the external stakeholders. Meanwhile, external stakeholders comprise of customers, suppliers, creditors, local community, the general public, government, and so on and so forth. Okay. So they are an external force that influences the company's success. This is why we need to study them. If you are doing business and you don't mind about your customers, believe you me, your journey will be as shorter as the starting point. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So they are very, very important. Not only that, but the company's presence can also affect them. You know, sometimes when we be dealing with marketing, you learn that customers, the moment you build that relationship with them, sometimes they are coming into the market and they find your shop is closed. Some customers feel bad.
Yeah.
Yes. So we need to take care of them. It's very, very important. Unless if there's a question, before we look at the information that is required by investors. Okay, thank you. Now, who is an investor? An investor is a person who has money to put into the business in order for him to earn again. So we need to understand that when people invest money, they are not investing money for nothing. So some of these companies that we have been seeing year in and out, they can't declare any dividend, no price increase in the price of the share. Then why have people put money in this company as investment? Because it can only be an investment if you can earn again. So before people can invest money, they have to look for certain information. And this is the information that is supposed to be provided to them for them to make a good investment decision, either to invest in your company or not to invest in your company and invest in another company. Remember, people have got money. I'm sure you have seen what our president is currently doing. He's busy going around. What is he doing? Trying to share this information that can make the investors decide to come and invest in Zambia. Yes. So, number one, governance. Investors want to understand about governance. Okay. One time, I was listening to a discussion with an investor on ZNBC, and one of the comments that this investor made is that when you invest in Zambia, you can sleep. But if you invest in another country, he mentioned a country, but let us not discuss that. He said, those people have got investment in that company, in that country. They know that even at night, they can run away and leave their investment. So governance is very, very important. Investors want to know about the governance in that country. Not only in that country, but even in that company they are to invest. How is the governance of that company? How is the governance in that country where we want to take our money? Are we together?
Yes.
Number two, investors or prospective investors, they want to know financial performance and the position of the company. Now, the financial performance of the company is known by the income statement, and the financial position of the company is known by the balance sheet. So meaning these are two important financial statements that prospective investors are interested in. So if your company's balance sheet is not promising, if your income statement is not promising, then chances of losing investor confidence are very high. Are we together?
Yes.
Number three, management and organization information. Prospective investors, they want to know, how is your company managed? Who are the managers? Are they qualified? What qualifications do they have? Because you don't expect people to give money to people that cannot manage their companies well. Remember, we discussed the issue of the separation that is between the shareholders and management. The people that give you money, they are not involved in the daily activities. So they want to know the management and the organization information pertaining to this company that we want to invest in. Okay.
Yes.
Number 4, information technologies. Requests related to information technologies will likely include descriptions of internally developed software, product development, roadmaps, production stacks, and details related to any contracted partners. They want to know this. What technology do you have in that company? Then they'll be able to make the decision about investing in that country, investing in that company. Also, environmental information. Environmental documentation may not be applicable. However, if it is, entrepreneur should expect requests for hazardous substance listings, descriptions of hazmat disposal methods, and copies of environmental permits and licenses. They want to know. Remember, nowadays, because of the issue of the climate change, companies are interested in environmental aspects. In this country, what are the environmental policies that are in place as we take in our business? They are also interested in legal information. Remember, these investors, some of them are foreigners. So they want to know the laws that are prevailing in that country. Are they favorable? Or maybe they can bring money. Then you have laws that we will say after 5 years, you grab the investments. So they are interested in knowing the laws and the policies, government policies that are there about investment. Okay, unless if there's a question, these are the 5 types of information that prospective investors are interested in. If we provide them, they are able to make investment decision, either to invest in that country or in that company or not. Any question, any comment?
Yes, I have a question. Would it be wrong to use pastel in this case?
Okay, it's one of the tools that you can use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of the tools. Pastel, the SWOT analysis. So SWOT, pastel, it's just those are the tools that we can use to scan the business environment. Can we proceed? Okay, let's look at our next learning objective, finance and accounting. Remember, in our learning objective list, they told us to discuss financial control and treasury. So we are looking at finance and accounting. A finance department needs to take account of the short-term and the long-term financing needs of the business. We believe that cash is king. So the finance department monitors all the financial activities of the business. So meaning we are discussing what treasury is all about. If an organization does not have enough money to pay its bills, the best long-term financial strategy in the world will be of no benefit to it. So we are looking at financial control and the treasury. In a typical large company, finance and accounting are functions within the same department. It's possible to find finance and accounting in one department, and the finance director will be responsible for both functions. So finance concerns decision making. Decision making is about the future, while accounting is concerned with the recording of past events. So if we are to differentiate finance and accounting, this is the basic difference that we use. That those, when it comes to finance, it's all about making the decision, while accounting is all about recording past financial transactions. So the finance function carries out two types of activities. There will be external activity and internal activity. So the external activity, which tend to be treasury related, and the internal activity, which tend to be accountancy related. So what we are discussing, they are actually embraced in one, but it's all about where is the focus. So when we are discussing treasury, we are looking at financial issues relating to external activities. Whilst when we are talking about accountants, we are dealing with internal issues. Okay. So let's look at financial controls and the treasury. Maybe we'll be able to understand it better. The term financial management is a part of accounting that deals with the management of finances of a business organization, so as to meet the financial objective. We are dealing with the financial management, not yet treasury. So it's all about accounting that deals with the management of finances of the company. It is not exactly same as the treasury management. Treasury management is all about the management of cash and the funds of the firm. I don't know. Are we able to pick the difference? Hello?
Sure.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I lost you.
Yeah, network issues.
Okay, now we'll continue. We have lost some minutes, but I think we'll join later. I've created another one, maybe we'll continue.
Okay.
So, so we were saying the term financial management is part of accounting that deals with the management of finances. Now, the main difference between treasury management and their level of activity, that is the main difference. Okay.
Okay.
So the financial management focuses on the long-term and the strategic investment. But when it comes to treasury management, the focus is on short-term and the day-to-day monitoring of investment. That is the difference. So treasury management is a part of financial management. Okay. So let's try to proceed. We have the next slide, which is able to give us in details the difference between treasury management and financial management. You can just find time to go through them in terms of meaning, the planning horizon, focus, the strategies that are involved in financial management and in treasury management. So let's look at the functions of a financial controller and the functions of a treasurer. So a financial controller prepares external annual accounts, prepare internal monthly management accounts, prepare capital and revenue budgets, tracking of budget variances, okay? And is a key person for external auditors, the financial manager. If we look at the functions of a treasurer, it's all about raising short-term and long-term external funds, management of liquidity, minimization of cost of external funds, management of cash within the organization, management of exposure to financial risks, key relationships, existing and potential providers of funds, stock market analysts, and the financial press. That is what he is doing. Unless if there's a question or a comment.
No.
Okay. So at the end of it all, we were given 5 questions which we are supposed to answer so that we appreciate if this lecture has covered the issues that are supposed to be covered. So in your own time, practice these questions, see how best you can answer them, depending or referring to the lecture notes that we have discussed and shared. See if there will be any challenge to answer any question from here. You can still share with us so that we can handle it together. We discuss that together.
Okay.
We still have 17 minutes, so we can quickly look at our next unit, which is unit 3, see how far we can move on those units. Okay. Okay, or maybe let's just end here. The next topic is a bit longer, so let me allow you to look at your program tomorrow, so that maybe before we end this day, you'll be able to text me so that I see where I can slot you tomorrow. I have other classes to attend to, but we can still see.